Friendly reminder.
Yeah, thank you. Keep screwing that up. It's easy to do. It's easy to do. Screw it up.
I didn't screw it up the one time.
I can screw up a one-card funeral.
Yeah, I'm 1 for 1. Me and George.
Welcome everybody to another edition of Tackle Shop Live. We're going to be talking about $1 million tonight. All that and a bunch more coming up in just a few minutes. Tackle Shop Live starts right now. Hey, William Barnes, what do you say, buddy? What do you say, Mark? How you doing, bud? Jerry Ray Schroeder.
Schroeder. That matters.
And you know what that stands for? JR. What's up, George? How you doing? Tony Spinelli.
Spinelli.
What's up, buddy? Well, thanks everybody for joining
Jack
us.
Hinkle.
For another edition of Tackle Shop Live. We have a great show for you tonight. We are we're going to be talking with Tucker Smith and Logan Parks. They're the guys who won the big tourney out in Table Rock, the Bass Pro US Open tournament.
Yeah.
So we're going to bring these guys on here in just a few minutes, and we're going to pick their brain about their tournament, about their win, their future plans, and then we're going to really get in deep with them about their techniques and their baits that they're using. So we're going to do that here. John, how you doing? Nick, how you doing, buddy? Dave Schottlemeyer, Ken Woods, Steve Klauser, how are you, man? Ben the Buck Hunter's here.
Got the deer baloney.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Oh, did he get the deer baloney?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Riding around on the gator.
All right, man. So anyway, we're going to get this show started because I think it's going to turn out to be a long one. But thanks again, everybody, for tuning in. We are going to try to get these guys up here right now, and I'm going to introduce Logan Parks from. You there, Logan?
How's it going, guys?
All right. Yeah, we got him. So this is Logan Parks, and he's part one of the team, and part two of the team, Tucker. He's feeling a little under the weather, but we're going to call him. We're going to call Tucker and see if we can't get him on here and join the show. See if I can get him.
Go Gomez. How are you doing, brother? Michael McKay.
Yeah.
Andy Garrett, Dean Reich, and old school Chuck Reif.
Tucker.
What's up?
Hey, man. How you doing?
Good. I'm actually really sick right now, so that's why I didn't want to do the live in on the FaceTime call because y'all would see me blow my nose every 30 seconds.
Oh, I gotcha.
Well, that's all cool, man. We
Nothing worse.
we heard you're like a tough guy. You're actually fishing and practicing fishing for a tournament.
I am. I'm actually at Lake Hartwell right now.
Wow.
I drove up here today, and there's a tournament tomorrow, so I'm just going up with no practice. But I've kind of got an idea what they'll be doing, so it'll be all right.
Yeah, really.
You need a cocktail of zinc oxide, emergency, vitamin D,
And Jack Daniels.
and a gallon of water, and you'll be good to go.
I'm only 20 years old, so I don't know if I can pull that one. But
Oh no! Just get on that. Skip the JD and get on the pill pack there, man. Stack it. Get on that. That's a cold pack stack.
yeah.
Well, congratulations, you guys, on winning that tournament. I got to talk to you guys a little bit about about your win, or at least Logan I was talking to. But it's some kind of win, man. If you're going to win one, that's the one to do it. I mean, that's unbelievable.
Thank you.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So Logan, you were saying it kind of took a little bit for it to sink in, but I guess now it's pretty sunk in, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I just bought my first truck ever, paid it in cash, so it's pretty sunk in.
What was the Tundra not good enough, man, or what?
No, I actually I got into a little bit of an accident, and the guy hit me about a week ago in my old Tundra and totaled both of our vehicles, and I don't have another vehicle to tow the boat with, and I don't know when the new Tundra's coming in, so had to make some.
We were wondering about that. We were like,
we were trying to figure out. We're like,
the guy just won a truck and he went out and bought another one. So I mean, he must be loving that money.
Yeah, them Tundras are awesome. I'm looking forward to getting mine in.
What's that say? They're burning money's burning a hole in your pocket, right? so Tucker, you guys, that I mean, one of the things that I really saw that really impressed me was the trophy. Holy mackerel! Where do you guys? Where are you putting them things?
Well, at the house that I live in Auburn, it's like it's kind of like on the main table in the middle of the house. Honestly, right now. We just like looking at it.
That's what I would do. I'd put it right on the kitchen
yeah.
table.
Yeah.
It's so heavy though. Like when me and Logan both lifted him up when we won the tournament, we kind of just held him out. I don't think there was any way for us to really just hold him up over our heads when we won.
Definitely
were
a bear
giant trophies.
Oh my
man.
gosh, the trophies were unbelievable.
Holy smokes!
Pretty heavy too.
Nick had found a picture of you guys holding it, and you guys were bear hugging them.
That's all you can do.
That's all you could do with it.
Yeah,
huh?
I mean, I'm not the biggest guy either, so it's not that easy to hold that thing.
How about it?
So obviously it's been a whirlwind for you guys. You've been doing lots of shows and lots of interviews and how's that all? How are you guys handling all that?
It's been fun. We've been trying to do every single one we can, just enjoy it all and take advantage of it and just help get our word out there about the win and about all the people that helped us along the way.
Sure.
That's awesome, man.
So you guys have aspirations of making a career out of this here fishing gig, huh?
We do.
That's outstanding. So, what a great way to kickstart your career with a little cha-ching. Take some of that pressure off, let you fish a little freer. Maybe chase after it every once in a while if you get on something, obscure, but really glad to hear that. So what's your thought process? You're going to go try to fish the Bass Opens? You're going to go the MLF route? What are you thinking?
Well, me personally, I'm a sophomore in college right now, so I'm fishing college, and me and Logan have another. We're fishing the spring together too, so he's not leaving quite just yet.
Oh,
and
cool.
And then I'm fishing 3 of the Southern Opens this year. And then Logan can tell you what he's doing, but I'm going to try to fish the Opens and then probably fish some Toyota Series too, just kind of feel it out. And then once I travel around the country after college, I'm probably going to go full forces, or maybe in a couple of years when I'm a senior in college, I'll go, all out. But I'm just kind of trying to fill it out and get as much experience as I can around the country before I try to send it.
Absolutely. That's I mean, you can't beat obviously time on the water, but what you can't really beat is the diversity of waters, I think it's a great concept that you got there, a great plan as far as going, to just getting out of your comfort zone, right?
I mean, that's exactly right, because in this last year, we traveled all around the country and seen places that I've never seen before and learned how to fish out there, and just how many different bodies of water there are. It's just amazing in just 1 year. So I'm curious to see what 3 or 4 years, or the rest of college is going to offer. So I'm excited.
What are you thinking, Logan? Are you gonna try to make this a full-time career, or what's your thought process today?
Yeah, like Tucker was saying, I'm gonna fish all 9 of the Bassmaster Opens in the spring. It's been a lifetime goal of mine to fish the Elite Series and, to have a chance at the Classic. And that's what we want to do. That's what I want to do. I might mix in some Toyotas. I fished a Toyota earlier this year, and it was a good experience. Haven't fished any Opens yet, so I'm excited for that. And I actually graduate on Saturday, but if you go to school for, like 4.5 years, you have that 6 months of eligibility, and you can fish for a 5th year. So I'm going to fish all of the college stuff in the spring as well as the Opens. It's going to be a busy schedule.
Red
Wow.
shirt.
How many tournaments is the college circuit?
There's 4 college Bassmaster events, the wild card and the national championship.
Okay.
And then there's like collegiate bass events and major league fishing events. So probably about 10 to 12 college events on top of the 9 Opens.
Yeah, and a great pathway to the Classic right there, fishing the college on the bass side.
Yeah, we had a run at it this year. Me and Tucker won the college team of the year, and we got to fish in the bracket. And unfortunately, I got bumped out, the first round. But Tucker was able to go all the way on to the final round. And he ended up losing by 3 ounces. So I know we want to get back to that.
Yeah, I mean that is absolutely sums it up. I mean, you got another opportunity at it. You're going to be a little more seasoned on your next go around. You're going to know what to expect and how to deal with the mental side of that. And it sounds to me like your mechanics are pretty good and your knowledge is pretty good. So, that part of the game is something you can control. The mental side, you got to kind of go through the process and experience the highs and the lows to even really understand what those words mental side even mean, right?
Exactly.
That's great.
Well, so let's talk about this tournament. Let's talk about, what you guys were, what were you doing? How'd you find the fish? What was your plan for the tournament and the going forward to try to win this money?
Well, we were actually in South Carolina at Lake Wiley for a college tournament, and it's a long story, but I'll try to, hit the high points of the story real quick. But, so we were in South Carolina fishing at Wiley, and I ended up throwing an ear on my prop, and we were in my nitro, and threw an ear on the prop, and so Logan we had to get some of our teammates to grab Logan in the fish and bring him back to weigh in because we were up the lake a little bit, and we ended up getting 3rd place in that tournament. And so Logan got the trailer and came back up river and picked me up. We actually stopped by Matt Robertson's house, and we got a prop from him on the way to Bull Shoals, which was the last qualifier event for the national championship. And getting into that tournament, my dad actually asked me and Logan if we wanted to fish the last chance qualifier, and we were like, let's go fish it. For $1 million, everybody wants to go fish for $1 million, and so
Heck
we ended
yeah.
up getting in. Yeah. So we had to make that trek from South Carolina all the way to Bull Shoals, and we knew the fish were, going to be related to bait this time of year. And we knew if we could find an offshore bite that it would be a lot more consistent than just running the bank with a crankbait.
Mm-hmm.
And so we ended up finding a deal at Bull Shoals in the middle of the creek channels on bait balls. And we ended up catching 14 pounds and qualifying. We actually finished, was it 13th place, Logan, or what place did we get?
Yeah, it was 13th.
Yeah, 13th place. And then we advanced to the championship on Table Rock, and so we went to Table Rock, and we kind of did the same thing. But I'll let Logan explain how we kind of figured him out at Table Rock.
Yeah. So you got the Table Rock, and
you've never been there before, correct?
And you got like 1 day, right?
Yeah,
We had never been there.
Yeah, we'd never been there, and we qualified on Wednesday. Tournament starts on Friday. We got to be at the pre-tournament meeting at like 1 p.m. on Thursday. So we fished from 6 till 12:30 or whenever, and and we pretty much graphed for like however long that is, 7 hours, just
Heck
graphed
yeah.
the whole time. Never really made a cast, and we started graphing like we did at Bull Shoals and looking in the creeks, and we found like 0 bait. We graphed probably 25 creeks in 3 or 4 hours, and we knew that wasn't the deal, so we tried to do the same thing on the main lake on humps and points, and that's where they were, and we found some bait balls, and just kind of practiced the first 2 days of the tournament, just went through the motions and kind of just discovered what we had found throughout those 2 days. The first day there was like a 3-hour fog delay, but we were boating 322. So it worked out that we had a long day of fishing to kind of dial it in, and we caught 13.5 pounds. And honestly didn't know if that would be good or not, because we didn't know what to expect. And that had us in 10th. So we were like, shoot, yeah, we'll just catch, 11 or 12 pounds on Friday or on Saturday, and we'll be straight. And we ended up catching 13 pounds pretty quickly, and we quit fishing at 11 and started graphing, and graphed until we had to weigh in, and then Sunday we really leaned on them.
You're never been there before. You're college level anglers, probably with a lifetime of experience, and you're making veteran moves on practice and during the tournament. I mean, your only day of practice, you graph. That's a veteran move. And then your second day, you get a good bag, you recognize, and then you go out and you graph for the rest of the day. So right there, you're setting yourself up for success, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we knew we could find them that, they would probably bite pretty good based on how we caught them at Bull Shoals. And
What's your electronics setup there? What are you guys seeing all these money fish on?
Well, we used Humminbird side scan to find the bait balls, and it was really hard to kind of discipline ourselves to be able to just sit down and graph all day and find places that you have to trust your electronics. And from seeing them at Bull Shoals, we could tell what it looks like on side scan. We could see the bait balls. We could see the fish like breaking through the bait balls, and you could see active fish in the bait. So you knew that the fish were there, and you just had to trust your electronics. And then we used front-facing sonar to actually cast at those fish in the bait balls. But the bite wasn't really good until the end, like midday, about 10 o'clock is when the bite would get good. So it was really hard to sit there and kind of look at fish that weren't really active. But about 10 o'clock at Table Rock every day, the wind would start blowing and the current would start moving, and those fish would start feeding. So if we could, hang out offshore until about 10 o'clock, and anything we caught before that was kind of a bonus fish. So we would wait till 10 o'clock and fish around, and then at 10 o'clock it seemed to be kind of the money time.
That's outstanding. I mean, you had it dialed into the point when you even recognized that bite window. So I'm interested about your forward looking, because we've been talking about this for about a year now, heavy on Tackle Shop Live. So how far out did you have your settings set? How far out were you looking? How far out were you fishing away from these fish?
We could see the sonar was set, on 80 feet, and we kind of found that the perfect depth range these active fish were in was they would be about 20 foot down, close to the surface, pushing that bait up, and they would just be cruising in pods of singles or like as many as 4 or 5 of them, and if you could get to them and throw to them about 40 to 50 feet out in front of the boat, they'd come up, and there was like 2 types of fish. They'd either come up and they'd follow it all the way back to the boat, and they'd just never bite, and you just give up on that one, or they would rock it up and just destroy it, and you'd catch those every single time. So we probably threw it 300 fish each day, especially the final day. We probably threw it 300 different fish and got maybe 20 to eat it.
That is exceptional.
That's awesome.
That is absolutely spectacular. I'm jacked up.
Did you guys? I saw you had some smallmouth that you weighed in too. Was it a mixed bag in those schools of fish, or was like smallmouth in one area and largemouth in another? Or
we never really found those largemouth, and I'm pretty sure those largemouth were in the creeks more, feeding in there. But on the main lake where we were fishing, it it was mostly spotted bass and smallmouth, and they were just kind of, you would never really know. I mean, you could see like a group of smallmouth would swim by, and you could tell it was smallmouth by the way they positioned up. They usually swim horizontal with each other if there was like a line of smallmouth. But it was usually it would be a spot or a smallmouth under those bait balls where we were fishing.
That is exceptional.
That's awesome.
Now your bait choice there. I did a little reading on your tournament, as we all did here, because the four of us here are pretty much tournament junkies. But we did a little research and a little reading, and you relied real heavy on what everybody's calling a damiki rig, correct?
That's right.
So, I mean, we don't do a lot of damiki rigging here because we fish real shallow, but the little bit that we have done, we've kind of relied on some of the common knowledge that's out there. Now, were you fishing a jig head with a 90-degree eye? Because that seems to be a real important part of that rig.
We were.
Okay, great.
Mm-hmm.
But we really weren't like doing it the typical way. Most people drop it straight down.
Right.
They shake it, or they just hold it perfectly still. And we were actually throwing to these fish 40 and 50 feet out in front of the boat and shaking and kind of swimming it back to us and just kind of like trying to shake it in their face, essentially.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So basically like some sort of a straight-tailed, minnow profiled, smaller, maybe 3-4 inch plastic on there. Probably didn't really matter, actually.
Yeah, it was mostly a reaction strike. So anything that was like 3 to 4 inches long that looked like a little shad, just like a white like fluke style bait is what we were throwing.
Mm-hmm.
I think Logan was throwing like a Maxent flat nose minnow, and then I was throwing we were rotating some different baits.
There we go. There we go.
So my question is, like, what made you guys go to like the damiki rig or like the fluke style bait versus the swim bait? Because we talk all the time on Tackle Shop Live about how like the little swim baits are so dominant and forward facing sonar and all that stuff. I mean, did you guys throw the swim baits and the fish you couldn't get them to commit, or did you just say this is how I'm going to do this? That was one of the questions that I had that I thought was interesting to ask.
We kind of starting fishing at Bull Shoals, we didn't really have much practice there either coming from South Carolina, and we were catching them, I would say, like a lot more vertically there than we were at Table Rock. So that's kind of why we started throwing the damiki rig. And then, those fish, they would come up and follow it. It was the weirdest thing. They would either eat it or they would just follow it. They would come in like they were going to eat it and just follow it all the way to the boat. And so I started trying to throw a swim bait, like a little one, just to see if, they would eat that, and they'd just follow that too. And I never got bit on it, and I threw to like 4 fish. I was like, this is working. I'm just going to keep throwing what's working.
And this is
awesome.
Excellent. I mean, you guys are just your breakdown, the story, the fact that you were able to take that technique from Bull Shoals and transition it to Table Rock, because they're very similar. Just fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So this is all what? Spinning rod, gear, maybe an 8-pound leader. You're probably throwing braid.
We were throwing braid, and we were throwing actually a 12-pound leader because I know that's not people usually throw, but we were not really wanting to reach high much because when you catch one, there'd be a group of fish there usually, 1 or 2 or 3 fish following the other one in. So if you could catch one and get your bait back in there quick, you could honestly catch another one. So
Smart.
We didn't really want to reach high as much. The bite that we were kind of keying in on was a reaction bite. Really, they were seeing it, shooting up and eating it. So it wasn't like we were dangling it in their face with a 6-pound test. They were kind of coming up there and destroying it, and then you wouldn't really have to retire as much. So that's why we chose 12.
12 pounds kind of like finesse for you Alabama boys. Is it? I mean, you don't pretty much. 12 pounds where it's at.
About as low as we get.
I love it, guys. I definitely love it.
And they take the damiki rigging and make it a power move, or, a power thing by shaking it and reeling it in. And it's like
yeah, we gave it the Alabama shake.
Alabama shake,
yeah.
or as we like to call it around here, the Mikey. Contact.
Well done, gentlemen.
Yes,
well done.
So for everybody tuning in right now, we're talking with Tucker Smith and Logan Parks from Auburn University college fishing team. They won the Bass Pro US Open tournament, and we've been talking with them here for the last 20 minutes and just picking their brain on how they did it and what they did. And if anybody missed the beginning of this, we will have this on our podcast that will be downloaded over the next couple of days that you'll be able to watch or listen and download it and catch the beginning part, because this is stuff you don't want to miss.
This is money.
Yeah.
This is some really good information, and it's really, really awesome technical stuff. Nick, you have something?
Yeah, guys, it's very, very impressive of what you guys are saying to us at such a young age. Everybody here can agree that.
Yeah.
Thank
Who
you.
can you say that you learned all this from? Is it you have a coach at Auburn? Is it other people? Kind of go into, who your teachers are and maybe thank them a little bit.
Logan, do you want to, or you want me to? We can do
mean,
both.
I would say, Tucker's got, some great people he's learned from. I would say I got the Panoptics on my boat, about 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. And I haven't really ever been with anybody to show me what to do, besides just watching YouTube videos on it. I would say I've probably learned the most about it with Tucker. He's pretty knowledgeable about the forward facing sonar, and he's helped show me a lot about it.
Yeah, cool.
Well, that I've had a few people, mentors in my life, that I've learned from. One of the biggest was Aaron Martin, so I was really close with him. And we used to go fishing all the time, and he was the one that kind of introduced me to the forward-facing sonar, and he was the one that kind of showed me all about it and how to read it, what the fish are doing, like how the fish are reacting to your bait and all that kind of stuff. So him, and then also Joey Nania, I fished with him at a young age. He's a local pro from around where I live, and he's a wizard at it too. And he was one of the ones that taught me the damiki rig and also how to use the Panoptic too. So I had some great people in my life help me, and mentored me to be able to use this kind of stuff.
So
That's outstanding.
So in college, when you guys got on the college team, do you have do you guys all work together when you do fish those tournaments? And if so, are you guys trying to learn off of each other different techniques and have because you hear about coaches, the fishing coach. What the heck's a fishing coach do?
We don't have one at Auburn. We're
Oh, really?
100% student run.
Oh, wow.
Huh.
That's cool.
It's collaboration. And this is what it's coming to. I mean, these guys are grinding day in, day out, whatever it takes to learn it.
Yeah.
When we went to college, we didn't have this.
No, we didn't. We didn't.
When we went to college, we were still
Really
fishing
sucked.
with flashers.
It was terrible.
You know what I mean?
College was terrible. For us.
Guys, when we were in college fishing, on front of our boat and the console, we had Lowrance flashers. I mean, that's we've been trying to keep up with you guys. We just introduced ourselves in the last year to forward-facing sonar, and it's been a wild ride. And our biggest resource, other than trial and error, mostly error, has been on Facebook with the Garmin page. And those guys, I mean, if you take the time to read that, those guys are like, here's my problem. Boom. Here's all the solutions. And then you take that out on the water and make those adjustments and tweaks. So it's been very eye-opening, and I think we're basically sophomores in college on this stuff now ourselves. So we'll compare notes with you in about another year. We might be at your level where you are now.
Heck yeah.
It's really crazy.
But
it's
guys,
crazy.
this is fantastic, and cutting loose with some of this, some of these tips and tactics and stuff. It's really exciting for us. I mean, we're really enjoying this.
Yeah.
I'm sure the audience is just loving this, and your whole story is it's spectacular, and the process that what really fires me up is the process that you guys went through to get that. And you know what? You deserve that win. You really do. I mean, you put it together, and you guys earned every cent of that win.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So
Appreciate that.
yeah, that is just awesome. But I still want to kind of get you guys to kind of what other tech. I mean, is that like your main technique that you guys really like, or I mean, you guys flippers, or do you guys crank a lot, or are you a Carolina rig kind of guys? I mean, what other techniques are you guys kind of schooled in?
Definitely no Carolina rig guys over here.
Okay.
We
We
just,
really kind of do it all.
yeah.
And
Yeah. Okay. Good.
whatever the fish are biting, whatever they kind of tell us to do. I mean, we've fished all around the country and kind of learned different techniques, and we've kind of just picked up, as it goes. But I grew up fishing the Coosa River, so I grew up fishing grass, flipping and swimming, and current fishing and all that.
Giant spots.
Yep.
Yeah, but
Rustling.
kind of Logan taught me a lot, and especially about smallmouth too, because you can't go flip and swim for smallmouth, so you got to do different stuff to catch those guys, and also just spotted bass in clear water and all that kind of stuff. So we kind of do it all.
So you said, you said you are a sophomore.
Yes, sir.
You're sophomore now. Okay, so yeah, you got a couple more years of fishing. You gonna do the same thing Logan's doing, is grab that extra fifth season in there?
Exactly. That's what I'm shooting for.
All right.
The
All
fifth
right.
year is the move.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. And Logan, you're going to fish the open, so you're going to be in our neck of the woods this year, fishing the Upper Chesapeake Bay.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to swing by the shop, and we won't divulge too much fishing information to you, but we would love to meet you, and just kind of hang for a hot minute.
That'd be cool.
Maybe go fishing on the Susquehanna.
Yeah,
River.
we can take you out if you got an extra day. We'll get you in the jet boat and take you out on the Susquehanna for some smallmouth action.
Yeah, that'd be sick. Might have to stay for a day after the tournament or something like that.
Yeah. We can work that program out, and maybe, just maybe, we'll put you on Tackle Shop Live while you're here.
Oh,
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. It's only like an hour drive from the flats, to come up.
Have you heard the way these guys drive?
I know, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, they fish one tournament and then they drive
I don't know how
15 hours to the next
I
tournament.
don't know how he's going to stay an extra day, because he's probably have to drive like 500 miles to go to a tournament next day or something.
He's going to zip up here and go fishing, and then leave right from the ramp and go to his next tournament.
To be young again, boys. To be
Yeah.
young again.
There was a time, boys,
There was a time.
but that time has passed. We need our new thing now. If we have a tournament more than 2 hours from the house on a Sunday, we have to leave Saturday night and get a hotel room.
Well, that's for social. That's for social purposes.
Well, no, that's for
to get your mind right.
No,
and
that's so we
tie
can
up
have
your
enough
rods
sleep,
and-
because this getting up at 2 o'clock in the morning ain't gonna work now.
Yeah.
See, I'm proposing a circuit where blast off is at 8. Every tournament we blast off at 8 and we fish until 4. That's my program.
They're calling it
Hey, I'm not a
bankers
morning
hours
person. I'm not a
bassing.
morning person. That might work.
Yeah, tell me about it.
George,
And like you said, your bite was at 10. So I mean, I've been many times over the years. I have talked about, even in the heat of the summer, how there is that best bite of the day seems to start at like 10 o'clock and go on through the afternoon. And I'm not joking around here. I mean, I'm dead serious about it. So let's sleep in, get a cup of coffee, and then start the tournament.
bankers hours bassing circuit coming to New Year, you baby.
Sign me up.
So what's your favorite bodies of water that you fish? Like if you were like if you heard a tournament going to be on this body of water, you're definitely going. What's your favorite one?
My favorite's probably Pickwick. I love
Okay.
that place. I like it like right now, from now till April, it's like big smallmouth, and it's awesome. I love fishing up there in the tail races and the horseshoe and stuff. And then when ledge season rolls around, that's hard to beat too.
Oh yeah.
Speaking our language about that tail race now, we are all I mean, we fish tail races big time as well. We love it.
And ledges.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love fishing tail races too. That's how I grew up fishing at home on the Coosa. And but you can't beat going up north and catching 4-pound smallmouth. So I'd like, Saginaw Bays where we won a college event there last year, and that's a phenomenal fishery. You can go up shallow and catch as many largemouth as you want, and then you can, ease off a little bit deeper and catch big smallmouth. So that place is really fun too.
Absolutely. We live here, obviously. We're quite a few hours north of you, and it's for us to get up into the promised land of the Thousand Islands and the Great Lakes is between a 5 and a 6 hour drive. So it's something that we do as often as possible because it's that special.
Yeah, I'd be up there all the time. Sorry, y'all.
Well, we got a little river in our backyard that don't exactly suck. I mean, we can go out there and catch 3-pounders all day long.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
In like less than a foot of water sometimes.
Yeah. So when you guys get up in this neck of the woods, we'll take you out and introduce you to some jet boat shallow water fishing.
Yeah, I'm all about a jet boat.
Oh yeah, man.
Oh, it's fun.
White knuckle runs. That's what we specialize in.
I've always wanted to get one of those.
Yep.
Well, you got the money now. You just go out and buy one. What the hell?
Right. I mean, that's one of the questions that I wanted to ask him, man, was like, how big was the after party? Because I guarantee you, if I'd have won a tournament of that status in college, I mean, the campus would have been shut down the next day because I'd have had the party of the freaking year and it would still be going on. And public safety would have been there every day. The president of the campus would have been there and everybody would have known who I was by the time I left. I'm just saying.
These guys had work to do. If I know them, they put them trophies in the bed of that pickup truck and drove to the next event.
and got a diesel truck on the way.
That's right.
Right. Well, it was real good having you guys on. We're gonna let you go. Thank you so much, Tucker, for toughing it out, man. I hope you feel better for your tournament. Logan, man, thanks for helping me with getting this together. And thank you both for stopping in and taking the time and telling us your story. It was great. I tell you, the information, we just love that kind of technical information and how you guys do that.
Well, it was spectacular.
Just great stuff.
This was one of the best appearances we've had on Tackle Shop Live. And personally, I'm looking for these guys to be showing up on the Bassmasters Classic stage numerous times from here on out. And guys, as big fans, we're going to follow you close and can't wait to get a chance to meet you in person and share some time on the boat with you, and wish you nothing but the best, fellas.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having us on. That means a lot.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, you
No
bet.
problem.
You bet. Thanks, guys. And we'll talk to you again.
Sounds good.
All right. See you guys.
Yeah.
So there you have it. That's the guys who won the big derby.
$1 million
Plus 2 boats and trucks, but apparently not 2 trucks yet because they're not out of the factory yet.
I mean, you're walking around on this planet and you are the champions of the biggest tournament ever.
Well, let's just say your tail feathers are shaking hard.
I'm telling you,
but
man.
These are some humble guys.
Very humble.
These guys are an example of what the sport of professional bass fishing has evolved to. You have got college-age men who are light years ahead of their time. They are dialed in on electronics. They are dialed in on techniques. They can get in the truck and drive to any lake you want them to go to and be in the mix.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're going to win every tournament they get into because that's unrealistic, but they can drive in the truck overnight, put the boat in the water,
Crazy.
Wipe the blackboard off, start over, and be in the mix. And that is an impressive resume right there.
And what's really impressive too, George, off of what you're saying is, after talking to them, it's all time on the water. I mean, they just want to be on the water. They want to experience
Every day.
everything, and
Yeah.
that's how they're learning.
Yeah, that's
so
what
for
they do.
everybody that's watching this,
Yeah.
time on the water.
Go fishing.
Yeah, and
Go
you know
fishing,
what?
learn
That's
more.
what they're doing, and they have a career path set. I'm sure they're going to get degrees. I'm sure they're going to expand their horizons, but they already know. And you know what? If you live your life properly, you follow that dream. This is America. You can do that, right?
Yep.
And guess what?
They're doing it.
That just makes me feel young again
Yeah.
right there. That was an exciting interview.
So what they were saying was they were fishing
So
damiki rig, which
I don't know about
basically-
this one, cameraman Nick. This is a damiki type jig head, of which there's many. So, when we talk, does that help, Nick? At all?
Yeah, they could see it good.
So when we talk about a 90-degree eye, the eye of the hook comes out of the head at a 90-degree angle. Okay. And the only reason and you can use any jig head you want for that. You can use a ball head. This is a Kalen's darter jig. Here's a VMC. Where are we at here, Nick?
Wait,
Oh, we froze. We got screen freeze.
hang on. It'll come back.
We got a bandwidth situation. Call Comcast. Tell them we paid. In the jig in the water, the 90-degree eye is going to force that jig to hang perpendicular,
Turn it off and turn it back on.
parallel to the surface, to the bottom. So it's going to present that bait in that, in that natural, right? That natural presentation, which is really key to the damiki rig. I mean, back in the good old days, we called the damiki rig a jig head with a minnow bait on it. But now it's called a damiki rig, which is fine. The gentlemen at Damiki that run that company are some good people. They make some great products, and I'm glad that the bait got named after their whole deal. So that 90-degree eye is key. You can do, the Kalen's darter head. You can do a fancy boy moon eye VMC head. You can do a regular old SFT ball head. I think the keys here are about a 2.0 to a 3.0 quality hook, because basically you're hooking up. Let me get this out of here, Nick. Basically, you're going to hook up a Zoom Super Fluke Junior, a Zoom Tiny Fluke. This is one of the best baits for this technique because it's buoyant, so it's going to want to hang. This is a Strike King
Zorro.
Baby Z2.
or Zero.
Zorro.
Zorro. You going to change the name?
Telling you right straight
Okay.
up.
Well, some people call it Zero. You like to call it Zorro. That's
Zorro Z2.
fine. So this is a Laztec.
Code word.
Z-Man makes these for Strike King, obviously. And what's nice about this is once you get this rigged up on your 90-degree eye, as our guests were pointing out, they were fishing a 12-pound leader so they could get a fish in the boat quick, not have to retie, fire back out while the school was fired up. Well, the other problem with that is your bait getting all tore up and having to get another one out of the pack. These things right here, you can catch them all day long on one bait. So not only is this a great drop shot bait, but it's also a great, damiki type rig or finesse minnow type rig bait. They also make a larger size of this, which is the Z2. This is the baby Z2.
Yep.
So you're gonna have double duty on these baits. You're gonna have a drop shot bait. You're gonna have a damiki rig bait. You can do a lot with this, but you can bounce the bottom.
You remember
of this bait.
when we were fishing, and we got on that fight with that rig down at the tail race at on the river at one time.
Yeah. So
And
Mike,
that's all it was just chucking it out and letting the current just kind of push it along, and we were just shaking it as it was going, Corbin.
Yep.
And we were using
Super Fluke Junior.
Super Fluke Junior, white one, and we caught stripers, we caught walleye, we caught like a ton
Epic.
of bass. It was epic fishing, and it was crazy. And then the next day we go back,
Nothing.
they wouldn't hit it,
So
wouldn't touch it.
the deal with that is, and the reason why this is such an effective technique for these fish that are, you kept hearing Logan and Tucker talk about bait balls. So when these fish are on bait balls, the number one thing that I can impress upon you that I've learned, the size of the bait is the most important thing there. Not necessarily the color of what you're using, but match that size.
Yeah.
So, we talked weeks ago about a little local tournament that Mike and I won, and we figured something out. There was acres and acres of little bitty 1-inch shad.
Yep.
Everywhere we went. The fish didn't want them. They were completely locked in on 3-inch shad.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever we found 3-inch shad in a bait ball, we caught fish left and right.
Yeah.
So the size of the bait and the presentation will trump the color almost every time. And that's why, getting that fish to react, if you're fishing a Super Fluke and they're eating a little 3-inch shad, you're probably not going to get too many bites, right? That's kind of what they're getting at. So that's kind of what you're looking for in that jig head is a 90-degree eye. Let's just summarize here. A good quality hook.
Yep.
Light wire.
Not a heavy wire hook because you're fishing a spinning rod.
I don't know. Them boys are throwing 12-pound line on theirs.
Well, yeah, but they're fishing it on a spinning rod.
Yeah.
Okay, so they weren't fishing a flipping stick.
No.
Because obviously, if the rod's too heavy, you're going to flex that hook out, right?
Gotcha.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep.
And you're fishing braid. Not a lot of forgiveness there.
Yeah.
So that's why you want that 8 or 10 foot leader for a little bit of flex built in there as well. So really cool stuff, man. Just really cool stuff. And that's kind of that whole damiki rig. But isn't it funny how it's tied into those electronics?
Yeah.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
I mean, you need to get your mind right on them electronics. You need to stare at them screens, press the buttons. The biggest thing that I always tell people about graphs, by all means, experiment, press all the buttons on there, change the setting, get too much gain, get not enough gain, get too much color gain, get not enough color gain, zoom out too far, zoom in too close.
It's the seat time.
But the worst you can do,
if
you screw everything up, is go back to factory default.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
I know.
And start over again.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? Before the show today, we were talking about you guys fishing this past weekend.
Yeah.
And you talked about how much graphing you did. And Logan and Tucker both said they took their whole practice to graph.
Yeah.
How many anglers are really
It's hard to do.
It is
able to do that?
Well, and that's the thing. It's just sitting down and idling around and just driving along and looking at that thing. Cause I don't do enough of it to really, I'm guilty of it. I'm guilty of the guy who really doesn't truly understand electronics. I'm dangerous with them, but I just truly don't get every little thing. And that's because, it's just seat time. Just seat time with it. You need more seat time to really mess with.
Well, I mean, if you're a tournament
with it.
fisherman and you're on a pattern or a bite that these guys are describing, the best thing you can do is practice by yourself. Because you don't have that feeling of, like your partner's not getting to fish. You're committed to graphing. It's one thing to graph around for 30 minutes. It's another thing to graph around for 7 hours and 30 minutes.
Corbin,
okay.
The thing about that is, fishing with the right guy.
Right.
And those guys, you think they click?
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Huh?
Guarantee it.
I mean, they click.
That's a squad,
Guarantee
huh?
it. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, George, probably a good thing you and I didn't fish that tournament.
Well,
someone would have been hurt on the way home.
I mean,
and I'm not saying it would have been us.
That's called delayed trash talk.
I know.
All right.
No.
Don Roeder, how you
Figures you're a
doing?
Penn State fan.
Robert
Buckeyes.
Donahue, how you doing,
Go
Robert?
Buckeyes.
Andre, what's going on? Byron, what's happening? Thanks everybody for tuning in. This is Tackle Shop Live, as you well know. And tonight we had on the guys who won the $1 million at the Bass Pro US Open tournament. And we've been talking about that. And whoever is chiming in here later and you missed the beginning, don't worry. We download this onto our podcast. You can rewatch it on Facebook. You can rewatch it over there on YouTube. If you want to listen to it while you're driving, you can go to our any podcast, iTunes or any of those, Spotify or whatever, and you can download the podcast version of it, and you can listen in on the beginning if you missed it, or just listen to it again. As always. So
you can also rewatch it, correct?
You can rewatch it. Yeah, you can rewatch it over and over there. It's on our YouTube page. It's on there all the time, and it's easier to find on the YouTube page, I think, because they're all racked up right there. But if you wanted to scroll through Facebook, you could find them that way also.
Yeah, and if you could, while you're viewing and watching and rewatching and listening, this is a great one to do that too. If you could just hit all them buttons they got.
Yeah,
like, subscribe, share. All
that would
stuff,
be
right?
that would be really good for us.
Yeah,
we're kind of committed to this now after a year of doing it, and we could use a little help from our friends.
Yeah.
So Mike, what's next on the agenda?
Well, we got Christmas coming up here. It's on everybody's mind. The holiday season's here. We love it.
Here comes Santa Claus.
It's exciting. Corbin's exciting. He's having a big giant party at his house. So he's all excited about that.
No, not me, Mikey.
And so, we thought what we would do is just kind of give you guys some ideas if you're trying to think about what to get your buddy, what to get somebody in your family who's the fisher person.
Latest and the greatest, right?
Yeah, we thought we would quick go over just a couple of picks here. It's not going to be a long segment here. We're just going to tell you what's some of the stuff that you can surprise your people with, because people always come in and go, man, my dad fishes. He has everything. I don't know what to get him. And we always go and point out the new stuff or something different,
Well, yeah, the latest and the greatest. I mean, this is the time of the year when we all love to fish, and we're all hardcore anglers, and we're all trying to expand our horizons. But let's face it, we like tackle.
Yeah, absolutely.
We like shopping for tackle.
Yeah.
We like talking about tackle. We like looking about tackle, and the name of the shop is Susquehanna Fishing Tackle.
And we like spending our money at Susquehanna Fishing Tackle.
So, if you're local in our area, you can stop into our shop and we will help you pick out. If you're not, we're going to go over a couple little things here that are really cool. Everybody loves.
I want to open my presents first.
And you can't. You can't.
I want to open.
Well, let's go. No,
I want to open my presents first.
Be careful what you wish for, George. You will have wrapped gifts next week on
I want to open my presents first.
I think we're going to start with Corbin.
Damn it!
I got an idea. We can go 1, 1, 1, 1, and then we'll do the old family roulette. Oh no, you ain't getting your stocking till you get your stocking. Now you open your big gift last. Oh no. Oh wait, these are the same. You guys open them all together. So I guess what I should start with is something that you guys aren't going to see me picking up first.
Yeah.
SFT tackle hat, baby, or the AFCO hat, right?
Yeah.
This is the time of year where you guys have so many hats here. You guys are constantly getting new designs in, and people come in and they say, I don't know what to get my husband. I don't know what to get my son. Particularly if the wives come in and they're like, I want something small. I already got them big gifts because they already got some of the stuff that we're going to talk about later, but they need that one more gift.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like hat season, man. And you guys got a ton of different hats. Between Costa, Loomis, Shimano, your own brand.
Yep.
It's perfect time to get different hats. I mean,
we got warm hats too.
I was going to go down that route. I think you got the big Kenny Chesney hats sometime with the big old, whatchamacallit. I mean, the big old floppy ones, the SPF hats. I mean, all I'm going to say is get your hat mind right, Bobby.
Yeah.
There ain't nothing wrong.
Hat game.
There ain't nothing wrong with a fresh lid on Christmas Day, man. For the family picture, I mean, George, you can get a fresh hat on Christmas Day for the family
absolutely.
picture. All right,
absolutely.
So that's my first
Yep.
gift.
Oh, is it
George,
my
what's
turn?
well,
I'm seeing red.
oh,
I'm seeing red. I am seeing red. I'm seeing
flintlock season.
I'm seeing some fire crawl up in the house.
Oh,
So I'm starting out with some stocking stuffers, and I'm going, medium price range here. I'm going with Strike King, who has gotten all involved in the fire crawl game. We all know the fire crawl, the Z-Man, Evergreen, Jackhammer, fire crawl started a fish catching revolution that every tackle company has jumped on. And Strike King's no different. They've got your fire crawl in all their hard baits. This is the KVD 1.5, which, if you don't own them, you probably should tune out because you're on the wrong show. There's other shows out there that you can be watching. And then we have the red eye shad, regular tungsten 2-tap. We've got the Series 3, the Series 5XD, the Series 6XD. You get the picture. They went nuts. We got the Thunder Cricket. And, of course, fire crawl. And
With
you're
the
going to
orange
match
blade.
that up with your blade minnow. They've also done an Ocho, a Rage Crawl. You get the picture. If it's their top-selling baits, it's in fire crawl. They did jigs. They did, the baby structure, yada, yada, yada. So I'm going red, fire crawl,
Love that.
dirty,
That'd be a
dirty
great
water,
concept for a
spring,
gift.
yeah, a whole fire crawl
Yeah.
kit.
You could do the whole theme like that. Fire crawl theme.
you could.
I'm going to decorate my Christmas tree in fire crawl.
You could do. Oh my God! You could do fire crawl and watermelon red, baby, and then you got red and green. And next thing you know, Santa Claus is coming down the chimney with the Mikey gift. What do you got?
What do you got for us, Mike?
Well, it's cold out there. It's cold out there.
Baby, it's cold
And,
outside.
baby, it's
Mikey,
cold outside.
It's cold outside.
The other week we were going fishing and I it was cold and I got these gloves. I got the AFCO gloves here, and I got a chance to fish them 3 different days out on the water.
I think you needed bigger size.
And no, I like this. I like this right here. This is the extra. I got giant hands, and this is the extra large. And I think it fits perfect. It's nice and tight and snug. But what's really unique about this is it's windproof.
Did you say you have giant hands?
Yeah,
Oh, my.
got big hands. You know what they say about big hands?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need big gloves.
So, we got this. So I've been wearing these gloves, and they're so comfortable. And I hate bulky gloves when I'm fishing, but yet you got to keep a little bit of that wind off. And this AFCO glove is just excellent. It has the little tabs on there for working your phone.
Swiping right.
It's just amazing.
I like to use mine on my Garmin.
Yeah, I mean they work right. They fit tight. There's no feels like it's just, and it's thin. It's not the thick bulky glove. It's very thin. The AFCO gloves, we just got another batch in today. Great gift idea. Great gift idea. Everybody loves these types of presents, because a lot of guys won't buy them for themselves. They go out there and just freeze to death.
Not me.
They just freeze to death and won't buy them. It's
I'll be
amazing.
buying all kinds
These
of gloves.
are excellent gloves. And the price point is not bad. Do you know what they are offhand, George?
Yeah, if you look at that price tag on the back there, it'll tell you.
Oh, there is one.
Mhm.
$29 for that glove right there. Wind stopper, windproof,
And I think waterproof too.
tacky, water resistant, I think.
Water resistant.
Or water resistant.
Yeah. Micro fleece thermal liner inside. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
$30. Look at that. Beautiful.
I never heard somebody talk so long on a pair of gloves.
I'm excited about them.
You should get a job at QVC.
Well, you know my hand problem. I get
You
cold.
do.
My hands get cold.
Yeah.
The tips of my fingers get cold. And this has just kind of eliminated all that problem.
You're good.
So
What do you got, Corbin?
Well, I mean, I'm gonna
And keep in mind, time is of the essence.
right. So what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna go towards the new fisherman, the the kid, maybe it's a girlfriend, maybe it's somebody that, they just want that box under the Christmas tree. They want to open that big box, and I'm going to get you the big box. This is my Shimano Combo Bazooka. And the best part about it is, for those of you guys that like to guess Christmas gifts and whatnot, no one's ever going to guess that this is a Christmas or a fishing rod for Christmas, because it's not just a fishing rod. Mikey,
Yeah.
what all is in this box, brother?
All right.
I know that, first of all, there's several different combo packs on sale, price pointed throughout everything here. But I want to break this down a little bit, because this is like the ultimate. Well, I don't want to call it starter pack, but it's a really cool Christmas gift. It's a really cool combo.
Well, first of all, there's a rod.
Yeah, and a reel. It's a great package that George was able to put together with Shimano. And
well, you need to go on the website, because we can't talk about them all. There's 3 different combos.
Kate's going to bring them up here.
But basically, rod, reel, line, Power Pro, hat, tackle bag.
You get a hat. You get a tackle bag with
good to go
with 4 boxes. Let me see. Get this out of the way. You can see it on there online. But you get this nice tackle bag, a Shimano tackle bag. You get the hat. You get the 4 of these boxes inside the tackle bag. You get all of the 150 yard spool, 20-pound Power Pro, and a 6.6 rod. It comes in 3 different price points: $139, $159, and $174, depending on what rod combo you go with. So check it out. It'll be a great little gift.
And one thing, the last thing I want to say on this before we go back to George for the next one is, like, these are on sale. So when people always say, like, oh, what's a sale? Like, what do you guys got on sale? I mean, the retail price on these is significantly higher than what they're priced at right now.
Significantly.
So I just want to touch on that too.
Yep.
Bargain, steal, whatever you want to call it.
We got mediums, Josh. We got mediums, buddy. They're all mediums. They're all 6.6 mediums, which are all around do everything rods. The one rod is a Celis. That's a higher quality rod and a better graphite. Real quality, high quality there. So that's the kits. You guys can go out and check them online. Kate's got them. She's got them right here. You can go on there and read about them. Each kit's on there. You can check it out on the website, and it's just a neat little gift, and you can wrap it. It's always a problem wrapping these kind of gifts. It's all together in one box.
I'm gonna do some high end, Mike. I'm going with the G Loomis NRX Plus. Okay. And I'm going to recommend that the person that you buy this for is yourself. There's no one on your Christmas list that can appreciate this. This is one of the all-time favorites of Team SFT here. This is the MBR series, which has been brought back to the NRX family. This is an 843. The 844. CI4 reel seat. Freaking light, maximum sensitivity. Freakishly strong. They've taken the Spiral X construction process and brought it to NRX. Okay. When NRX first came out, it was all that in a box of crackers. Now it has taken it's 10 years have gone by. It's going up to another level. I can't say enough about these. And, Christmas is a time to splurge. And you're going to have to splurge on this bad boy, because it's $625.
Best $600 you ever spend.
But 15 years from now, you're going to still be fishing what is relevant with the most current technology out there. Spinning.
When did they come out with an NRX?
10 years ago.
And me and George still have original NRXs in our boat.
The spinning NRX Plus has gone up another level. The CI4 reel seat. The old ones had, a metal rings on the cork, which at the time was the bomb. But I mean, this is a drop shot rod.
Upgrade.
If that's your game. Or
hey, Corbin, upgrade.
Maybe you're not a G Loomis fan. Oh. And you want a high-end gift. Another one of my favorite rods, and I particularly like this version right here. This is the the Super Destroyer model from Megabass, the Destroyer PX with the carbon grip. Chris Zaldane designed that grip. I mean, this rod is like, yeah. So check out some high-end rods for yourself. I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
Corbin.
you had a good year. You worked hard. You know, Santa's not going to leave any coal under the tree.
Mike
Mama's not going to get you one of these rods. So, you know, take care of some business for yourself here.
Hey, Corbin, Mike Bob, he needs a hat. His ex threw all of his hats out.
Oh, well, we tell him we got the right spot.
We got you covered there, brother.
Now,
Yep. And Jeff Riddle is just checking in. How you doing, Jeff? Better late than never, buddy.
now, George.
Love it.
George, if you're going to buy rods, right?
Yeah.
Don't you think you should maybe look at
You got to have
some
reels.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I mean, I'm going to talk about 3 really quick.
Yeah.
Because, well, I mean, you got to talk about the Shimano Sustain because this is one of the hottest reels out right now. Brand new. Everybody wants something brand new. Okay.
Yep.
Corrado MGL 150.
The 150 MGLs, absolutely back.
You got
in
it.
stock now.
And
Yeah.
And
there's about 50 left-handers on the way.
Oh, wow.
George, I mean, we can't quite see her, but you got a lot of metaniums. I mean, you got a lot of metaniums.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like,
Oh,
get
yeah.
yourself a metanium.
Love me them Metaniums.
yeah.
and a Stella or whatever. But I mean, either way, you can't go
Pump
wrong.
the brakes on the Stella there, Bobby.
Well, you got a Stella or two. I mean, we got Sustains, whatever. You get what I mean. But those are some of the real choices that I would recommend. Mike, I'm sure there's maybe some dial ones that you guys would recommend this too. But I mean, I was going to talk about Shimano.
Yeah. No. Josh, as far as the gloves go, in a medium, we don't have a medium, but that large is small. So we used to have mediums, but nobody got them. They were too small. So the large is what you want to go with if you have small hands. Okay. Mike Bob says that's not funny. I know that's not funny, bro. So the last thing that I would want we want to cover tonight, and it's old tried and true, and that is the SFT gift card. This is the great. I love these things because I love when guys come in with these things in their pocket. It's like this greatest experience when you're coming in and spending these things.
It's like girls when they open up the box, like, he went to Jared. Guy opens up the box. She went to SFT.
It is really awesome. I love watching people spend their gift cards. It's just it's just magical, and it's just great spending other people's money like that. It's great. You can get them here in the shop, or you can go online and you can buy a gift card and have it emailed to somebody, or you can print it out yourself and give it to somebody right up to last minute, right up, last minute gifts. You need something the night before, you can print one out, take it to Grammy's house the next day and give it to grandpa or whatever. And we got you covered. You can do it 3 different ways: buy it in the shop, email it, or print it out online at sfttackle.com.
We talked about some gifts.
Yep.
It's Christmas. We're in the spirit. But what I really want to know, and I want to include cameraman Nick on this, in a short, sweet statement, what's your favorite Christmas morning fishing technique? Because I know I'm going to be fishing on Christmas morning, and I know a couple techniques I'm going to throw, but, cameraman Nick, maybe not Christmas morning, but maybe the day after Christmas.
I was going to say, he's got
maybe Christmas Eve, and I know you're a big lake fisherman, and it's cold. How are you starting off the day? What's your number one go-to technique for Christmas 2021?
Right. And it has to be, even if it might not be working that day, I have to start with a jerk bait.
Man, you're so predictable.
And I just have to. Now, I might have 3 different rods with 3 different jerk baits, trying 3 different depths. And what I did find out with that forward view is you can watch that jerk bait, as you said so many times, and you can see exactly what those fish are doing and how they're reacting. If they're not reacting to one, they might react to the other. And that's what I'm doing. And I would go to some other baits after that, but you guys can cover them. But I'm always going to start with a jerk bait just because That's what I do.
Well,
Yeah.
remember,
Awesome.
remember,
I love that.
Greg DePalma dropped a juicy little nugget on our lap the other week with that jerk bait on that forward-looking sonar, getting on target with a fish that's suspended. Instead of casting it out and starting your twitching cadence, reel it down a little bit so that as it's moving, you can pick it up on that scope and kind of get that going. You know what I mean?
That was a
Absolutely.
good nugget.
That's a nugget. That's a nugget.
Yeah.
So Corbin, I know you're a river guy at heart. You spend
yeah.
most of your life in shallow water. And I know you fish shallow in the middle of the winter. So I mean, between 0 and 20 foot of water on a river for some smallmouth.
Oh, there's GDP.
What are you going to do Christmas morning to catch you a big 4-pound smallmouth?
I am gonna wake up and I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna walk out to my living room of my house at my party, and I'm gonna say, "Thank God everything's cleaned up." I'm gonna get my cup of coffee, and I'm gonna start maybe around 10 o'clock, George, because never be in a hurry, and I'm gonna go throw a Ned tube, a TRD tube,
Ah, man, that thing's deadly.
in either the deal, green pumpkin, or maybe another color, depending on the color of the water.
Right.
And I'm going to probably throw it on a 1/6 of an ounce. And if the wind's cranking, I'm going to throw it on braid to 8-pound high seas fluorocarbon.
Oh, 8
leader.
pound.
No, 10-pound braid to fluorocarbon leader.
8 pound.
Yeah, 8-pound
Not
leader.
6.
No.
Okay.
Corbin
no.
Corbin does the dead stick drag with that thing, and freaking
And I'm going to
wipes them
put
out.
I'm going to put smelly jelly on it, and I'm going to drink my coffee, and I'll be like, "Oh, there he is." And I'm going to be wearing my Christmas hat, not my hot dog costume.
right.
Okay.
Right.
And then I'm going to be like, "Yeah." It's,
All right, Mike. So
There we go.
Christmas Eve, or perhaps not Christmas morning, but
Yeah.
maybe the day after Christmas, because we got a weekend this year on the Christmas program.
I know.
So
The
Sunday
for
morning. I
me.
mean,
yeah.
I'm not sure where you're going, but I have a feeling you're going to go to a deeper reservoir, river run.
Yeah.
So you're going to fish a more traditional reservoir.
Mhm.
What's the game plan? Because I know the reservoir you're probably going to fish has a ton of shad in it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know.
Well, I
What
mean,
are you thinking?
especially this time of year, I'm going to bust out the old umbrella rig, and
whoa.
and I'm gonna chuck that umbrella rig out because
Heavy artillery.
well, we've been having these days where it's been warming up, and the water temperature was 38. Now it's all the way up in the mid 40s. Like 41, 42. And it's supposed to get hot again on this weekend. So I'm gonna throw that. Plus, I'm fishing for big fish,
Oh, of course.
and that thing just catches them.
Well, listen.
slobs.
I'm
drum roll.
gonna hold off a
Slobs.
second. I'm gonna interrupt the program. We have a Robert France on here, and the only reason I'm interrupting is because the question that Robert is asking goes directly towards something cameraman Nick wanted to talk about for his Christmas gift under the tree.
Yep.
Robert France said that a couple weeks ago we were live on the river, and while we were weighing the massive bet-winning,
Oh, we
game-changing-
How did we forget Nick on the
game-changing fish that I caught. You recall the size of that beast?
Oh, I thought it was the one that Mike and I were catching. I didn't know which time he was talking about.
No, the one when I destroyed you in the tournament.
Oh,
live.
oh.
Absolutely gutted you on the front deck
Oh.
of the boat.
Oh,
That
yeah.
one.
Oh, yeah.
Did you ever pay up for that one?
No, because I have
No.
a 10 out of 1. And George, when
So-
I gave George $1, he said we have to make it official and live.
So Robert,
Ah,
that beast of a fish where I took Corbin's manhood away from him with was weighed and verified on the tournament scale that the majority of the professional anglers use to call, and it's the Rapala tournament touchscreen scale. And what's cool about it, Robert, is you can store up to 8 fish. It's all touchscreen, so you weigh the fish, you tap on the box that you want the fish to go into, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That weight gets stored in there, and then when you get a bigger fish and you want to call, you look at your weights, you see the smallest weight, you tap on that box, and you replace that fish. It's got a small grip on the bottom so that you're not puncturing the fish or hurting the fish. You grip it on. It's got a little storage bag. And it's a nice little piece of equipment.
Yeah, it's
The only
very
thing
nice.
is, we're talking about all this cold air. None of this digital stuff likes freezing temps.
Yeah,
So you might want to somehow stick this in your pocket, so you get accurate weights.
you got to keep them warm.
Go
ahead, Nick.
What do you think, Nick?
Robert, and to go along with that scale, I believe Sunday or Monday, we're going to be dropping a YouTube video by our very own Greg DePalma that goes over this scale. So you'll be able to see all the ins and outs of that scale.
It's really easy to use, and Greg breaks it down real nice for us.
Greg and Greg, he was just here.
So, Mike,
he's watching for the little nuggets on the show.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to go a different track than you guys. I'm going to go do one of my favorite things on planet Earth, and that's wintertime tidewater fishing. I'm going to bust the old Skeeter out on Christmas morning, and me and Santa are going to head south. I don't expect the ramp to be crowded. We're going to launch, and I'm going to unwrap a blade bait from under my Christmas tree that's going to be on the front deck of the boat.
What color and what's the manufacturer?
Silver Buddy,
OG?
old school.
Half ounce
Silver Buddy in the high-tech color of silver.
Oh, that's the wrong color down there, man.
Huh?
You got to be throwing the gold down there.
Well, I'm going to have a gold close by.
Got to be having the gold on there.
And can you imagine, what my blade bait box looks like? Because I'm such a freak on these things. I've got the Jackal. I've got the Mega Bass. I've got the Molix Trago Vibe, which is one of my favorites.
Yep.
I've got them all. But you know which one I pull out of that box first is the old school Buddy Banks inspired Silver Buddy.
Oh, yeah.
Are you going to polish it? Are you going to?
I'm going to tie it on, and I'm going to start whooping some ass with that
Wait.
thing.
Are you going to play the Christmas song Silver and Gold? Silver and Gold.
Because there is nothing better
Good one there,
than
Corbin.
wintertime tidal water fishing. And the key there is I need to find me some little bit deeper water, but I don't even put the line in the water until I've marked shad.
How big of hooks are you going to put on it?
I just put number 6s on it.
Oh, no, no number 1s.
But what I'm doing is I'm getting into these off-current areas. I'm graphing, and I'm looking for shad. I pretty much pull in to an area, drop the trolling motor, kind of pan around a little bit with the forward-looking. If I see fish, shad, I know my fish are there, and then I just, pick that area apart. I like marinas this time of year. I like dock pilings, real precision casts, and just kind of slow roll that blade up. And of course, you almost always get bit on the fall. A lot of times you go to pick it up again and there's a fish on there. So I'm going to be blade baiting with Santa on Christmas morning. And I'm going to be thinking of the rest of the Tackle Shop Live crew who's all doing their own thing in their favorite part of the world. And so that's kind of where I'm going. Now I'm going to have probably about 10 other rods rigged up. But,
I'm sure you're going to have a jig.
A drop shot, a shaky head,
and all your fire crawl, baits.
No fire crawl.
No. I mean, when you get your fire crawl package.
Oh, then I'm going to bust them out.
Right.
Yeah.
Scale price is
$50, I think.
Yeah, $50, $49.99. So then we had another question here. Jeff Riddle's having problems with his jerk baiting. Well, just stick with it, buddy. Let him soak there real slow. If you're not getting bit, you're either not getting deep enough, or you're not let it sit still long enough.
Well, and don't forget, Jeff, we've talked about it. We've had two young guns on here. You got to be around that bait.
Yep.
You got to be around that bait.
And you got to be around fish. So just keep working it, buddy. You'll get it. You'll absolutely get it.
Yeah, and then the light switch is going to snap open, and you're going to be jerk bait man.
Yep.
One of the things you guys said is it's so critical, especially in this colder weather with the jerk bait. You gotta let it sit.
Yeah.
If you're fishing it too fast, you're not going to get
bit. And there's definitely your twitches just need to be. Look at John Wernick, who really got, can catch him on a jerk bait. He's letting it set 15 to 20 seconds between jerks. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Now we do have a warming trend in our part of the world coming. I'm sure down there in Auburn, they're going to be out on Christmas Day with freaking shorts and a t-shirt on, flip flops, punching mat or something. But up here,
I know they're talking like pushing high 60s, man.
Yeah, like 65. Next week's looking good.
I mean, yeah, hell yeah.
My poor.
You guys better call first before you come to the shop because
You might want to get your Christmas shopping in this week because we ain't gonna be here next week.
It's gonna be game on out there.
I'm just saying.
And it's gonna be hard to miss out on it. So we're definitely gonna spend some time.
You're in the
there.
ballpark there, Jeff. 6 to 10 second pauses on slack line, sir. And when you pop that bait, point your rod tip at the water. Pick a target, aim at that target, snap that bait, and let that rod recoil back to that spot. What that does, that prevents you from moving the bait forward. I cannot tell you how many people are in my boat fishing with me on cold water jerkbait fishing, and I can tell them, after a while, I get tired of telling them. They're pop, and their rod tip is 6 feet away from where they started because they didn't recoil back. You want that bait to snap from right to left and pause, left to right and pause. Do not pull that thing through the water. Yes, sir.
Yep. Okay, Michael, you're right about that. Let him soak. All right. So, man, we got, I think, a great show tonight. It was great talking with Tucker.
That was awesome.
And Logan.
Tucker and Logan are on point.
Those guys are great. We all can learn something from that. And then next week is the week before Christmas. So
yeah,
we're gonna have
time.
We're gonna have another.
You're gonna
want
to tune in next week. That's all I'm saying.
We're gonna have a great show for you next week. I don't know what it's gonna be about, but you guys stick close. We'll announce what's going on for next week.
Yeah. I believe we got another call in next week if we can get them confirmed.
Yeah, we got to confirm that, and it's always last minute around here. You know, that's the way we roll.
That's how we roll.
We're that's just what we do. So, you know, maybe too before the end of the year, you know, we should do a question and answer show. You guys like that?
Oh,
let us know if you guys want to have a question and answer show. You can go to our Facebook page and comment and let us know. Go over there to YouTube and leave some comments and let us know if you want to have a question and answer show, which is always a good time. We always get great conversations going on there. But I think we're going to wrap it up. If you can't get back next week or so, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to everybody. And until next time, we will see you at the tackle shop.
Sunny day, right there you took my breath away. Young and pretty, was it just a dream? The next day you called me up, you told me I'm your little buttercup. You came over and you fell into my arms. Well, I know what I feel. Please tell me your love is real. You make me smile when I think of you. If I am down low and I am blue, I can't get enough. You make me happy, I feel so fine. Oh, how I wish that you were mine. I can't get enough. I woke up all soaked in sweat, weird chills running down my neck. I'm going crazy from just the thought of you. A long blonde hair and your beautiful smile. Your sense of humor makes it all worthwhile. Don't make me wait, it's not a funny game. You know just what I feel. Please tell me your love is real. You make me